How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about BBIG, which ended up having a green day inside of the market. And we also had a recent press release, which I'll be talking about inside of this video. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the recent press release that came out today for BBIG. I want to make sure I keep everyone in the know. And then we're going to be taking a look, doing the technical analysis. We want to know the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance and what we want to look out for going into tomorrow. We already know this stock is extremely volatile, so I want to make sure you guys have a good idea of a game plan that you could add with your homework and as well as your due diligence. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information. We want to know, are shorts still heavily vested inside of this play? The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to take a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know, is there a lot of selling that was happening on the retail side, or was there a lot of buying? We also want to see what's happening on the institutional side, so we're going to figure that all out. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details, so let's get to it. So let's go over the recent press release that came out today for BBIG. So we could see here Zash Global Media Lomotif launched Lomo Records label. Vinco Ventures, BBIG owns Zash Global Media, and Lomotif have launched Lomo Records, a Los Angeles-based independent immersive record label. Zash's Lomo Records will partner with artists and creators to provide expert label services and global distribution to break new talent from their platform Lomotif and work with other music labels. Lomo Records will leverage Zash's entire ecosystem, expanding the artist's global reach through their proprietary social media accelerator platform under AdRiser. Eli Frank, an entertainment executive, will head Lomo Records. So this is definitely great news to hear. Operational wise, things are going good for BBIG. And these are one of the things you want to look for, especially if you are holding shares in this company, because you want to make sure they're delivering value to their shareholders. So now let's jump into the technical analysis. So we're going to do a technical analysis for BBIG. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $8.32, being up 1.09%. On the low, it tested $8.15, and then on the high, testing $8.95. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 66.585 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days being at 60.416 million shares. So like I was saying, when we have above average volume in BBIG, we can look forward to seeing some appreciation in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a 1-year daily chart, we can see from the RSI down below, it is at 63.57. And when we take a look at the moving averages on the chart, we have momentum above all of them, which is the 200-day, the 100-day, the 50-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. And this is why I remain bullish when it comes to BBIG. Now, as far as how we performed on the day, we did end up testing $8.15 on the low, but this is exactly what you want to see. We are seeing increasing levels of support. As you can see in the past, we had some support here at 640. Then we had another support here at 668. We confirmed support here at 7. And now we got some support here right at the $8 range, and now we're moving up to $8.15. So this looks very bullish. Now, as far as where we tested on the high, we got to $8.95. And I told you guys inside the previous video that $9 is going to be an area of resistance. There's going to be a lot of traders who are going to be taking profits, and also many people who are going to be selling. So this is why it is very essential we end up having volume. So if we end up getting past this $9 level, then I'm going to be looking forward to seeing a move here to $9.28. And if we can get past $9.28, then the next level to look out for will be right here around $9.58. So going into tomorrow, I just want to see BBIG hold up this $8 level. If it holds up $8.15, even better, but I would like to see, hey, can it hold up around $8.30 at the open? That would be interesting to see, because if it can do that, then I could easily see it getting past $9 going into tomorrow. So let's see how it performs. So we're going to take a look at the recent short interest information for BBIG. So the dark pool short volume ratio is at 53.56%, and then for the dark pool short volume being just over 48.9 million shares. Scrolling down even further, the short shares availability is at 3,000, updated just now, and then for the short borrow free rate, it is at 78.11%. So that is significant there. And now when we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see the close for the Friday that just passed, it was at 53.56. So it'll be very interesting to see what the numbers will be later on in the evening. But one thing I know for a fact, BBIG still continues to have short squeeze potential, especially when we take a look at the borrow free rate and as well as the short shares that are available. So now let's jump into the order flow distribution. So now we're going to take a look at the order flow distribution for BBIG. So we could see on the inflow it was 128, and then on the outflow it was 127. When we take a look at the breakdown on the large, it was 3.55. On the medium, it was 91.65. And then on the small, it was 33.02. When we take a look at the outflow side on the large, it was 2.61. Then on the medium, it was 93.79. And then on the small, it was 30.17. So one thing that we can clearly see, you know what, before we even get to that, the large scale orders in the last 5 days for October the 18th, which is today, being at 937.54. So what this tells us, institutions were loading up on shares of BBIG. There also was some selling, but we had a lot more buying that was going on. And then when we take a look at the medium size orders, of course, we had more outflows. So we have traders coming in and out of this play and so forth. And then when we take a look at the small scale orders, you could see very clear here, we ended up having a lot of selling, but we had a lot more buying that was happening on the retail side. So this is definitely great to see because it does show demand for BBIG shares, and it does work out very well in regards to reflecting on the stock, and it's the reason why we ended up having a green day. So now let's jump into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for BBIG, like I was saying previously, I was happy to see that it ended up having a green day. One thing that is very clear, we do have an area of resistance right at that $9 level. You can see there was a lot of selling pressure when it was trying to get there. So going into tomorrow, the level that I want to see hold up at least is $8, but most preferably it would be nice if it could hold up in the $8.20 range on a dip. If it is able to do this, then of course I'm going to look forward to seeing it actually get through $9. When we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, this play does continue to have short squeeze potential. When taking a look at the short shares availability and as well as a short borrow fee rate, it is primed. So what we need is more volume coming into this play. We saw how BBIG was performing when we weren't getting that volume, and now that we are getting it, we're seeing strength inside of the stock. And due to the fact that, hey, this is definitely a pivotal week for BBIG, and there's going to be many people that are going to want to purchase up shares so they can get access to Tide shares as well. So keep that in mind. You're going to see this play gain some momentum, and now you have to have a strategy and a game plan that is right for you in regards to taking profits. If you want to hold, that is completely fine. Just make sure you're doing your homework and you're doing your due diligence, because like I was saying previously, due to the fact that the short interest is fairly high, you got to make sure that you're mentally prepared for the volatility that comes ahead. And as far as for the PR update that we ended up getting today, this is good to see. As far as for the operational side, things are going in the right direction, and they are providing value to their shareholders and saying, hey, you know what, we mean business. We are putting the money that we have to work so we can make sure that this company stays afloat and it actually has a future. And I like that, because many companies, especially when they get a lot of money flowing through it due to the fact of short squeezes, or again, just getting the meme status and so on, a lot of them will do offerings or they'll raise money and stuff like that, and they don't know what the hell they're actually doing with it. Let's be honest here. But at least with BBIG, they have a clear game plan, and that's exactly what I like to see. So let's see how it performs going into tomorrow, and we'll be talking real soon.